And what happens is if you don't know what the real thing is, you will buy a cheap counterfeit of it. And when people start bootlegging or making knockoffs of brand name items, case in point, the Chanel purse, and you buy a knockoff version, it looks like the same thing, but the quality is much different. You buy it for the branding, but it doesn't really feel or taste or seem or smell the same way. And what happens is, I think many times that Christianity has a trademark. Jesus gave us a trademark of people who walk with him and follow him. Yet there have been knockoff versions that have been created where they look the same from the outside in, but the quality is a cheap copy of the real thing. And if you don't get accustomed to the real thing, you will buy and give your life to a cheap counterfeit that never produces the life that Jesus said it would produce. Then you get frustrated with God, frustrated with other believers because you don't get the real thing. It's like Pawn Stars. I like the History Channel since it did history. It doesn't do history anymore. But when it used to do history and Pawn Stars, and people will come into Pawn Stars every once in a while. And they'll have something they think is worth a whole lot of money. And they'll bring it in and they'll start looking at it and say, well, I want this. I want $100,000 for this guitar because Slash played this guitar. He said, well, okay, let me call in an expert, and they'll look at this and determine if it's real or not and determine if it's actually worth the $100,000. So bring in some guitar expert, and he'll come through and he'll look at the guitar, he'll look at the wear on the guitar, and he'll look at the history of it, and he'll come back and he'll say, hey, this guitar was never played by Slash. This guitar is only worth about $2,500, not $100,000. And so when it comes to Christianity, to determine if something's a real thing, we have an expert we can call in to determine if it's the real thing or not. And that expert is not the president of the Southern Baptist Convention. That expert's not somebody on Fox News or MSNBC's. That expert's not even Pastor Bobby. The expert is Jesus Christ himself. And he comes in, he feels it, he looks at it, looks at the trademark, and he says, whoa, this is a cheap counterfeit. Cheap copy of the real thing.